And let's go ahead and move on into the next track here with different class, Pulp. We're returning to this album, and this time with the third track on the album, which is going to be Common People. I see that like on Spotify where I'm looking, it's listed as the full length version, which I would like to listen to anyway. I'm just assuming that there's probably a single version or something of that nature, but nope, give me the full length thing, give me the whole thing from top to bottom. So let's go ahead and dive into it. We'll talk about it after. Pulp, Common People, here we go.
She came from Greece, she had a thirst for knowledge. She studied sculpture at St. Martin's College, that's where I caught her eye. She told me that her dad was loaded. I said, in that case I'll have room with Coca-Cola. She said, fine. And then in 30 seconds time, she said, I wanna live like common people. I wanna do whatever common people do. Wanna sleep with common people. I wanna sleep with common people like you.
Like you.
What else could I do? I said, oh, I'll see what I can do. I took her to a supermarket. I don't know why, but I just started somewhere.
That's hilarious. I love the lyrics on here.
So it started there. I said, pretend you got no money. And she just laughed and said, oh, you're so funny. I said, yeah. I can't see anyone else smiling here. Are you sure? You wanna live like common people. You wanna see whatever common people see. Wanna sleep with common people. You wanna sleep with common people like me. But she didn't understand. And she just smiled and held my hand.
Ooh, that's nice.
I went to flash above the shop. Cut your hair and get a job. Smoke some facts and play some pool. Pretend you never went to school. Still you'll never get it right. It's when you're laid in bed at night, watching roaches climb the wall. If you called your dad, he could stop it. Oh yeah, you'll never live like
What a great build-up.
you'll never do whatever common people do. Never fail like common people. You'll never watch your life slide out of view. And then dance and drink and screw. Because there's nothing else to do.
This heated up so intensely, and I love how the vocal direction blew with that.
Sing along with the common people. Sing along and it might just get you through. Laugh along with the common people. Laugh along even though they're laughing at you. And the stupid
Love the
things
lyrics.
you do because you think that oh it's cool. Like a dog lying in a corner. They will bite you and never warn you. Look out. They'll tear your insides out. 'Cause everybody hates a tourist, especially one who thinks it's all such a laugh. Yeah, and the chipsticks and grease will come out in the bath. You will never understand how it feels to live your life with no meaning or control, and with nowhere left to go. You are amazed that they exist, and they burn so bright whilst you can only wonder why. Or rent a flat above the shop.
Turn sick.
Cut your hair and get a job. Smoke some facts and play some pool. Pretend you never went to school. Still you'll never get it right. 'Cause when you're laid in bed
What a ride this song is. How do you have a version of this that's not just the normal full-length version? Because the whole thing with this track is it is just about the build-up. From literally down here, kind of like quiet, just kind of explaining things, and it's just like right down here. And just constantly, it is ramping up, ramping up, ramping up. And even when you think it's going to teeter out right away, it ramps up and it ramps up until it's like a perpetual explosion of energy that does not let up. And I love that ramp, literally, like that elevation that the music plays with structurally, because it works so well with the lyrics, which I think the lyrics are absolutely genius. I love that. And the music, of course, so first of all, it's incredibly catchy, but there's a point to it. Isn't this considered like Britpop? Isn't that the genre? Right? Okay, yeah, Britpop. Okay, this is pop with a purpose. This is music with a meaning. And I love a song or an album, whatever it may be, that can get those kind of things across in a catchy way. Because it's catchy, but it also makes you think a little bit. And I really enjoy that. So the delivery from Crocker, right? I got his name right? To make sure before I continue on. Cocker, Jarvis. His delivery is so fantastic here. And I love the moments in the music where he just speaks, like truly acting out meeting this girl, and she says, hey, show me how common people live, and this and that. And he's like, okay, sure. And it starts off with this almost kind of indifference. Not quite offended, but a little bit of indifference. But then, as he begins to show her things and the story moves forward, there is an offense. Why do you want to see this? Is it with actual genuine and heartfelt intentions? Or are you just trying to oh yeah, I'm so aware of the common people. See, I've hung out with them for a day. Yeah, I'm just like the common people. What's your reasoning? What's the intent behind it? Because there can be genuine and heartfelt and caring intent behind that. There can be heart behind the motion, but this is just the motion. And so I really love how that frustration plays out, and eventually, of course, through the delivery, really plays out in the elevation of the music. And of course, I'm pinpointed on Jarvis in the delivery because I find his delivery here so fun to listen to, but also so to the point. But the way that the rest of the band plays that up as well, the fills from the drums, courtesy of Nick Banks, become much more inflammatory as it goes on. The guitar sharper and harsher. Everything is just building momentum. And I love that little synth that plays that melody that's, dun, 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 keeping that rhythm, or the melody rather, of the chorus kind of continuing on through there as well. That is just really, really fantastic how the band pulled this together and structured it. I thought it was really nice. Let's look at the lyrics here real quick. She came from Greece, had a thirst for knowledge. She studied sculpture at St. Martin's College. That's where I caught her eye. She told me that her dad was loaded. I said, in that case, I'll have rum and Coca-Cola. She said, fine. And then in 30 seconds time, she said, and then it goes on. So I love, setting up the meeting, and she's saying her dad was loaded. He's like, well, I'll have rum and Coke, which is not an expensive drink. But so she's like, okay, whatever. And then she's probably, you can kind of imagine her mentality seems like a simple-esque man. Let me ask him something. And she says, I want to live like common people. I want to do whatever common people do. I want to sleep with common people. I want to sleep with common people like you. And that's why I said, imagine this scenario playing out. He's probably taken aback, offended, first of all, don't call me common. Common as it may be. Don't call me common. But he did hear what she said at the end. I mean, he did hear her say, want to sleep with common people like you. And he's also probably thinking like,
Oh my.
I'll be offended later. So that's why he says, well, I'll see what I can do. I took her to a supermarket. Don't know why, but it had to start somewhere. So I started there. I said, pretend you got no money. And she just laughed and said, oh, you're so funny. And I'm like, yeah. Like, I love how the conversation that's taking place in the lyrics and in the singing, like, it actually feels like a conversation to an extent, Well, I can see no one else is smiling here. Are you sure? Obviously. You want to live like common people, want to see what they do. And she just didn't understand. She just smiled and held my hand. Oh, rent a flat above a shop and cut your hair and get a job. Smoke some cigars and play some pool. Pretend you never went to school, but still you'll never get it right because when you laid in bed at night watching roaches climb the wall, if you called your dad, he could stop it all. So this is where that pent up frustration, this is where now he's really starting to get offended and really say like, and stick it to her. You can pretend this and do this, but even if you rent a flat, cut your hair, start smoking, cigarettes, and like, even if you start doing this, you're never gonna really be one of us. You're not like us. You're not gonna be a common person. You're not, because as soon as you see those roaches climbing, well, you're gonna call daddy. You'll never live like common people. You'll never do what common people do. You'll never fail like common people. You'll never watch your life slide out of view. Then dance and drink and screw because there's nothing else to do. You'll never really experience these things. So when I'm reading the lyrics of this, which pretty much repeats to an extent for the most part, like the messaging is clear here. This kind of, to an extent, just in a similar vein, reminds me a little bit of Holiday in Cambodia from Dead Kennedys. That kind of, I want to do this, but what's the intent behind it, Like a dog lying in a corner, they will bite you and never warn you. Look out, they'll tear your insides out because everybody hates a tourist, especially one who thinks it's all such a laugh. Like, you think it's all just a game. It's not. This is life. Yeah, and the chip stains and grease will come out in the bath. You will never understand how it feels to live your life with no meaning or control, with nowhere left to go. You are amazed that they exist, and they burn so bright while you can only wonder why. What I really like about this verse is that while he's speaking to the subject, it also feels like he's kind of talking to the audience, doesn't it, a little bit? Now, I can't speak to who's listening or whatever, but like, I feel like he's saying this to whoever's listening to the music. Like, I'm assuming that the band, or maybe Jarvis himself, come from, lower means, common people, right? And maybe he's like, this is life. This is not just, us playing some music, playing some albums. Like, this is life. Don't play with this, Or maybe I'm digging too far. And everything repeats from there. That's a wonderful track. Also, what I noticed is that this song has a huge not huge. It has a long Wikipedia article. I'm quite surprised. It says it reached number 2 on the UK singles chart, becoming a defining track of the Britpop movement, as well as the band's signature song. I mean, what a great signature song to have as, the one you're truly known for, I should say. Let's see. The song is a critique of the wealthy wanting to be like common people, ascribing glamour to poverty. This phenomenon is referred to as slumming or class tourism. I have never heard of that. Cocker had conceived the song after meeting a Greek art student while studying in London. He came up with the tune on a Casio tone keyboard, which I'm assuming that's that little dee 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 that you hear in the song as well. That is absolutely awesome. I've never heard of that. It says Justin Myers wrote the song was typical Pulp, but I don't care what. I thought this was someone in the band. I don't care what another reviewer said. All right, let's see. He spoke about the song's inspiration. I'd met the girl from the song many years before when I was at St. Martin's College. I'd met her on a sculpture course, but at St. Martin's you had a thing called Crossover Fortnite, where this is not where Marvel brings in Marvel characters to Fortnite. This is way before that. Where you had to do another discipline for a couple of weeks. I was studying film, and she might have been doing painting, but we both decided to do sculpture for 2 weeks. I don't know her name. It would have been around 1988, so it was already ancient history when I wrote about it. And Cocker said that he was having a conversation with the girl at the bar because he was attracted to her, but he found some aspects of her personality unpleasant. He remembered that at one point she had told him she wanted to move to Hackney and live like the common people. Cocker used this phrase as a starting point for the song and embellished the situation. That is really, really awesome. And there's that Casio tone keyboard that I mentioned at the beginning. Just because I see Emerson, Lake, and Palmer, when he played it at rehearsals to the other members, most of them were unimpressed. Mackey said it reminded him of ELP's single Fanfare for the Common Man. Keyboardist Candida Doyle was the only member of the group who spotted the potential, saying, "I thought it was great straight away." And of course, they built off of that. That is really, really cool. And obviously, it's done wonders for the band and noted as one of their hallmark songs. That's really cool. That's a good track. That's a really, really good piece of music. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments down below. Follow me over on Twitter. Support the channel on Patreon. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. Bye.